All right, what's going on, everyone? Hope everyone's doing amazing. So today we're going to talk about our newest tools, our newest technology, and actually got some really cool, exciting stuff to share with you guys. We're going to talk about the bot portfolio and the portfolio builder and the bot portfolio analyzer. But first, as always, keep in mind that we are not a financial advisor. It is up to you to make your own decisions, to place your own trades, and of course, never risk more than you can afford to lose. And as always, trading has some risks. Make sure you're okay with those risks before beginning. So let's go ahead and jump in real quick. I'm going to switch screens here and show you our newest tools, our newest technology. And we're going to start with the push button bot portfolio, the portfolio builder. Okay. So you guys should be able to see my screen. Right? Nope, you can't. Let's try again. Take two. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen, right? So what we've done is we've created 250 to 300 separate predefined bot settings, right? So as you all may know, we have 8 different bots. They all have a slightly different strategy that they execute, and they work well with different and alternating market conditions, right? So then what we did is we said, okay, so it'd be really cool if we ran some back tests over 3.5 or 4 years. You guys would probably agree that that's a pretty substantial amount of time to run a test, 3.5, 4 years. And we're going to look at what are the settings that worked really, really well every month for the last 3.5, 4 years, or all the way back to January of 2022. So going back many, many years. And those settings, we have actually created this tool here, and I'll walk you through it in a sec, of how to look at the predefined settings and how to measure and look through and decide which of these you want to kind of narrow down, which of these you like, do you dislike, okay? Now, as you all know, you can run one bot in one account, easy peasy, no big deal. It gets a little bit more complicated when you have multiple bots running in a single account because, as always, they can conflict. They have some conflicts, right? They don't necessarily speak to each other. They're like the brother and sister who just always are butting heads, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this now, and what you'll notice at the top here is we do have our push button portfolio builder 1.2. Okay. Now the thing that I want you to look at is there are 2 different things here. There's a mini and a micro. There's the e-minis and the micros, and they're basically different futures assets that we can trade. In this case, we can say, I want to look at both options. We're going to check both, or you can look at one or the other. I kind of personally like micros myself, just a personal thing. And so as we check these, you'll notice these are all in green. When I check this is green, all these are green. When I check this and uncheck the other, they're all blue, right? And when you check both, you got the mix of green and blue. And all that means are the different assets that you're trading. Are you trading a small asset or a larger? M and Q, green, meaning micro. And then you'll see something like GC, which is gold. And that is a E-mini kind of futures contract, right? And so we have the micro futures contract and the mini or e-mini futures contracts. And they're all different assets, right? So if you were to look at this list, you're like, okay, what the heck am I supposed to do with this list, Matt? Well, you'll notice that there's a strategy here, mega snapback, mega orb, volume bot, right? You guys see there's quite a few strategies, and we'll scroll down and you'll see some other mega snapback, right, in our 7th and EMA. So there are different strategies that these settings go to. And remember, I mentioned that we have 8 different trading bots, 8 fully automated trading bots. Now, someone said, hey, Matt, does it notify me for when to place the trade? No, it doesn't notify you when you place the trade. It just actually places the trade for you. Okay. So it does a little bit more than probably what you guys may even realize. Now, what I want you to do next is, of course, we have the strategy. Then we have the ticker. So MNQ here. We got M2K, MYM, ES. So ES is, of course, the S&P 500 E-mini futures contract. And then what you'll see is there's something that says 4 minutes, 12 minutes, 7 minutes, 13 minutes, right? That's the chart size that this runs on. So this runs really well. Again, going back 3.5 to 4 years. So it's going back a significant amount of time. A lot of times we're doing anywhere from 300 to 1,000 trades over the life of that 3.5 to 4 year period. We're just going back and say, hey, what's worked really well consistently every month going back to January of 2022. And so we have a couple options here at the top here, and we're like, how do we want to weight all of our choices, right? So me personally, I like to say, hey, I want the maximum net profit, but as you guys know, that comes with like you have to be able to stomach some big ups and downs in your account. And so I say I want to balance that with the maximum. The DD stands for drawdown. Drawdown is basically the highest to lowest value in your account over this testing period. Okay. PF stands for profit factor. That's a variable we'll talk about in a minute. And then if you want a very high percentage of profitability, how much you want per month, you want a high win rate, like all the different variables, it's going to take all of them into account and it's going to make some suggestions for you. Okay. So I'm just going to click the green just to simplify this. We'll have a lot less to look at. And let's say that I like this number one. Okay. Now over here on the right, you'll see kind of the variables. It's going to start trading at 6:24 a.m. And keep in mind, this is Pacific time zone. Okay, so Pacific time zone. These are all adjusted, of course. These can be adjusted easily to your time zone if you're in Eastern, Central, Mountain, if you're in a European or North, well, anywhere in the world that can be updated, right? So what this is showing is we're trading the M and Q, and this is the bot called the Mega Snapback. And a bot in this case refers to a very specific strategy, okay? Now, when I check this, you'll notice everything, there's some other things that turn red. Well, what's the problem with the red? Well, when I check the red, you'll see now that there is now a conflict. What does that mean? That means we're trading the same exact asset in the same account at the same time, and they're gonna have some problems, right? So imagine buying something like the S&P 500 and shorting it at the same exact time. That is a problem. Or in this case, MNQ, which is the micro NASDAQ futures contract. And so what this is telling us is, hey, this is a problem. Like you got two things running at the same time. Now there's ways around that, of course, is this will tell us that that's a problem. And it'll say, some people refer to it as correlation. Some people refer to it as conflicts, right? And that's what we're trying to anticipate. We don't want that to happen because you can't go long an asset and short at the same time. For example, you can't go long Tesla and short Tesla at the same time in the same account, right? That's you're going to one trade, the second trade is going to reverse the first one. You're going to go back to cash and then nothing is happening in your account. Okay. So as I check each one of these other ones that aren't red, what you'll notice is over here on the right, we're getting kind of a list of what I'm okay with running. And what do you notice with all these? They're all different assets. They're all different tickers, right? Which means what? Which means it doesn't matter if they're trading at the same time because they're not trading the exact same asset in the exact same account, right? So if I was to check these and scroll down and just check all of those that are low risk, all of them that have a very, very, very there's no conflicts. And you'll notice as I do that, I go through here, check, check, check. And there you go. You'll see I have 11 bots and my net profit going back. Again, this is the back test. We'll show you how this works live in a second. But we're going back to what? To January of 2022, right? So we're talking about the entire January 2022, 2023, 2024, and then where we are so far, not over yet, almost over for 2025, right? So again, 3.5, almost 4 full years of data. And so what I can do is I say, hey, you know what? I really like these. I like that they're trading at different times. This one trades in the afternoon. Some of these trade early morning. Some of these trade midday. Some of them trade, and they're all trading different strategies. They're all different assets, right? We're looking at MES, M2K, MGC, right? But what you'll notice is, what about this? This says MES and this says MES, right? But what you'll notice is that what you'll notice is that there are no conflicts. There are no conflicts. So like same thing here, M and Q and M and Q. Now, watch what I'm able to do. Let's say I like these and I'm like, oh, this looks pretty good. I can now go in and save a template, right? I can save a template. And I'm going to call this the micro all two. Oops, micro all dash 2. Okay, micro all 2. I'm going to click OK. Now, keep in mind, it's going to save this template, and so I can shift to my next tool, and we can do some cool analysis, okay? You guys ready? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift in here. We're going to pull up our micro all 2, and what we're looking at now is the tool that we've built. Again, all of these tools are 100% resident inside of NinjaTrader, okay? So they're all inside NinjaTrader. Push button, now we're looking at the portfolio analyzer. Now, previously we were looking at the portfolio builder. Now we're looking at the portfolio analyzer. And then previously, we would teach people how to use a free third-party tool to look at all this, but we're like, you know what, let's just build it in-house and let's just look at it ourselves and use it all native inside of NinjaTrader, okay? So what you'll notice here is, if I was to get rid of this window, what you'll notice is we have some analytics here on the left, right? And this is showing us, if you guys can see this, it's showing our largest win, our largest loss, our total commissions, our consecutive wins, all the things, right? And this is showing that we have a net profit of, in this case, 148,400, okay? Now, what I want you guys to think about is, what if you're like, hey, you know what? I don't really have an account to start trading, but this is all very, very intriguing. Like, what do I do? Well, we'll talk about funded accounts here in just a few minutes, but there's a way for starting as little as like $33 a month. You can get access to a trading account. You can run some of the same technology in your trading accounts for about 33 bucks a month for this third-party funded account program, okay? So what I want you guys to do is I want you to look at this, right? Now, most of these funded account programs have a goal of like $3,000, okay? Do you guys agree that this goes way above our $3,000 goal? And what happens is the money becomes real once we hit our goal in our funded account. We'll talk more about that in a second, okay? So what this is doing is it's saying, okay, I want to take all these bots, all these trades, and we're going to put them into a single screen. And we're going to look at the equity curve. Basically, we're going to look at the life of our account, bottom left to top right. Looks pretty good, pretty smooth. And as you guys can imagine, remember, this goes all the way back to January of 2022, okay? Now keep in mind, there's been wars in the Middle East. There's been 2 different presidents and US presidents in the White House. A lot has happened over this. So you can't say, well, you know, this only happened during the good days, this only happened during the bad days. Like, it's a lot that's happened in the last 4 years in the world, in the US, right? A lot has happened, okay? So this is a pretty good cross section of what that looks like. And what we can do is we can take all the individual strategies. So the individual strategies that we have here that are we call them the pre-configured settings. Again, we have 250, almost 300 completely completed, and we update those every month. And so you'll be able to get those when you sign up. But essentially what we're doing is we're looking at, here's all the different bots, all the different strategies that we're running one at a time, different bots, different assets, different strategies, different time frames. So we're able to like take advantage of a whole lot of different things. Now, if you're like, well, Matt, how does this all like work together? And I'll show you in a second, but we have ways that you can run these all in a single account. And does anyone have any ideas how many funded accounts? Go ahead and tell me in the chat, how many funded accounts are you able to have at one time? Let's say with something like Apex. How many funded accounts? Go ahead and type it into the chat. How many funded accounts are you allowed to have at one time? Does anyone know? Let's see. Jamie, Kevin, Philip, Svetlana, Tracy. Someone said 20. 20 accounts. Now keep in mind, this number is a single account, right? A single account, okay? So this is a significant like advancement in our company, in our world, so much so that we're super excited to do our first webinar with you guys here, okay? Now this shows all the winning, all the win rates, all the stats on a per bot level. But what you guys probably want to see is you probably want to say, you know what, I really want to look at, oops, let's do it this way. Let me go to micro 2, load, template, select a template to load. Uh-oh. Hang on one second, let me restart this tool. There we go. For some reason, there we go. Okay, so micro two, this is what we're looking at. If I was to go into the performance analysis, what you'll notice here is here are all the individual months, so like every month over the course of the last almost 4 years. What did it look like as far as wins, losses, positive, negative, right? And what you'll see here on the left is our scale. Remember, this is for a single account. This is one account, right? Apex allow you to have 20. So imagine everything that we're showing you times 20, okay? On the left side here, what you'll notice are the scales. So this goes up to 8,500 and change. So that was kind of a good month here. And then on the left, you'll see 1,500 is kind of like the biggest, lowest level of loss so far, right? So can you guys live with this? Do you think you can have a few losing months, small losing months, in exchange for some pretty decent performance overall? I would say, yeah, that actually, yes, right, absolutely. And then the other thing you can look at is you can look at the correlation. Remember, we were talking about in our other screen, our other tool, how well do these like crisscross or how well do they butt heads? How well do they conflict? And what you'll notice is there are no conflicts. There's no red or orange going on here, right? So that means everything looks good, okay? And so we're able to take these settings and we're able to uh, build so we have these pre-configured settings. We can take each one of these and they're numbered right here and they tell us what the bot name is. So we can go in literally into one at a time. And I believe this had, was it 11? I think it was 11. So we're able to go in and literally just enable 11 of these all in a single account, run them, boom, go live, and pretty much ready to go. So how long does it take to enable one of these bots with the pre-configured setting? It's pretty simple to do. You guys want to see? Let's just do one for easy comparison. Give me 1 second, let me switch screens. I'll show you how simple this is to do. Let me delete what I have here on my screen. There we go. All right, so we're going to go here to our strategy. And remember, we are using, in this case, we're going to use our, let's see, go to individual. Let's start with our highest net profit, which would have been the number 253. Do you guys see that number 253, the mega snapback? So open this up just a little bit more. You guys can see a little bit more about the naming convention. Again, everything's in Pacific time zone. So a couple things there. You can obviously adjust the date and time. You can adjust the time to your time zone, or you can just tell the machine that you're on, hey, this is specific time zone, one of the two. If you're using something like a VPS, like running these out in the cloud, you can also set that up the same way. So let's take a look at how long it takes to go live. You guys ready? So have their stopwatch ready to go. Okay, here we go. We're going to right click, go here. So again, this is all NinjaTrader, native in NinjaTrader. We're going to click on our strategies tab. We're going to right click, go to new strategy. We're going to go into our mega snapback. Here we go, boom. And we're going to open up bot number predefined number 253. You guys will see these are all in order here. You guys can see the numbers are clearly labeled here. So they're all sequential. So I'm going to go find 253, 253. There we go, boom. Click load. All my settings are defaulted. The only thing I have to do is I have to tell it if I have multiple accounts, what account do I want to run it in? And then I click go. Boom, easy. Okay. And you basically repeat this same exact process for the rest of them. Okay. Now keep in mind that every single one of these trade a different time frame with a different asset, right? So you'll notice this was M and Q, this was M and Q, right? This was a 4-minute chart. This is a 4-minute chart. And I didn't have to tell what asset, it automatically picked it. And I pretty much did everything for me. I just have to say, hey, I'm going to go live with number 253. Okay. Again, in this case, I didn't want to show you guys my account numbers. So we just left it at the default, which is the SIM account, right? I don't want you guys looking at my account numbers. Right? Okay, so that's pretty simple to do. Now, what if you're like, you know what, Matt, let's do it the other way around. What if I could tell it what I want and it can build it for me? That would be pretty cool, right? What if I say, you know what, I want a minimum or the max drawdown I'm allowed in my funded account is $2,500. So let's say that you have a 50K Apex account. Your goal is 3K. Call that the goal, and your drawdown limit is 2,500, so minus 2.5K. Okay, so that is the most I'm allowed to lose in my funded account. I want to make $1,000 a month. Again, this is per account. This is just a single account. We have a trade copier where you can trade up to 20 accounts simultaneously. Pretty cool technology. And I say I want at least 2 strategies running in an account. Actually, let's say at least 3, and I want to have at least 6 strategies running. So anywhere between 3 and 6. And what this tool is going to do is I'm going to say generate portfolio combinations, and it'll give it a second. And what it's going to do is it's going to say, okay, let's take a look at all the different technology, all the different bots that we have available, and let's mix and match. Remember, we had 11 previously that I loaded. So it's going to look at those 11, and it's going to say, you know what, let's do number 1 and 4, number 5 and 6. Let's do every possible combination of every possible combination so that we have a minimum of 3 and a max of 6. And let's see what are all the possible combinations. And so it's like literally doing the reverse logic here, doing all the work for you to tell you, hey, what do you like here? What do we like as far as drawdown, as far as a consistent profit over time, right? And it's showing your average monthly gain we said was $1,000. Now here on the right, you'll see that every single one of these meets our criteria. Some of them go over into 2,000 and plus. All right. And then our net profit and then our drawdown, right? So we're only allowed to lose 2,500. We got to make at least 3,000. So all of these like far surpass what is available, right? Or what our minimum requirements are, correct? So in this case, I can click save. I'm like, you know what? I like this. We're going to call this the November portfolio, the November combo. And let's run this starting next week. Let's run this in November, right? Let's go live with this, right? And so I can literally save my, and you'll see right here the 6 different bots. I have to just enable those. Boom, we're ready to go. So I save this, and now I can switch over to my November combo, and I'm literally now able to just go back and look at the same thing. What is my equity curve? What are all the stats? What's the analytics? And again, folks, this took some significant amount of time in coding. And I want to say a special thanks to our team at Push Button Trading, and more importantly, Tracy Ball for putting all the technology together, overseeing the team, doing some of this work on her own. So thank you, thank you. And so I want you guys to be as excited about this stuff as we are, right? Because this is a huge game changer. Because not only most technology companies like ours who have bots, they have a single bot that you can run, right? That's it. Well, we have 8 that can trade at different times and different scenarios, different strategies. And yes, this does take commissions into account. Sorry, I missed that. So right here, it's showing your commissions in this exact example. So $12,000 with commissions. If you're like, oh my gosh, that's 1,000. Well, that's a lot, right? You'll see even after commissions, we still make a healthy profit. Now, why do we do that? Well, the previous tool that we were using, the previous free tool we were using, didn't take commissions into account. And as you can imagine, when you get into thousands or tens of thousands of trades, in this case, this took, let's see, almost 2,300 total trades. If you guys can see that it's saying 2,295 trades. That's a lot of trades, of which a few dollars here and there every single trade to get in and a few dollars to get out per contract. That adds up quickly, right? And so our previous tool did not take into account the commissions. We felt it was better to just build all this in-house. We don't have to rely on a free third-party tool to kind of make all this make sense. Now, why is this significant? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're the only company that I know of that works with funded account programs, that has technology for funded account programs that work specifically with the funded account rules. Number one, you cannot lose more than a specific amount per account, right? So for example, if you were to look at something like Apex Trader Funding, let's take a look at their website real quick. You have a very, very specific amount of drawdown you're allowed to have, right? So for example, if we were to scroll down and look at, here we go to Tradeovate, oops. And if we were to look at these 2 accounts here, our 25K and our 50K, what you'll notice is my drawdown is here and here. Oops, thing moves. right? So 1,500 and 2,500. That's the most I'm allowed to lose. Now, why does that matter? Well, the reason it matters is because number one, most bot trading companies use what's called a martingale or a grid system. You guys, are you familiar with how that works? What that means is, let's say you have two contracts, you want the price to go higher, it goes lower. So what does the system do? How does it react? Well, it will double down. It will now go to four contracts. It loses some more, it'll double again, goes again, lower again. You guys see what happens? This is hoping for a bounce so you get back to like break even, right? That's how most bot companies work. We are super unique in the fact that we don't work like that at all. We use what's called a totally different approach called fixed risk. What does that mean? That means you define how much money you're willing to lose if you're wrong. That's it. It kicks you out of the trade, you move on to the next trade. You're not trying to double down, double down, double down over and over and over, trying to get back to break even. That's a very dangerous way to do that. The other thing is that most funded accounts require you to be in cash at the end of the day. So how many of you guys have ever seen the market just like fall off a cliff in a single day with no mercy? Like that's that. And so again, you have to be careful of using funded accounts. You can't do that. You have to be in cash. You certainly can't add to losing accounts. You take a loss, you exit for, you get into cash, and you wait for the next logical setup. That's it, right? So for those of you who are struggling with emotions, being an emotional trader, there any emotional traders out there? There's always a handful. Most of them are kind of shy and don't admit it. But if you are a nervous trader, a nervous Nelly when you're trading, you're probably an emotional trader. Guess what this technology does? It resolves and solves some of this for you. Okay. It's not going to it's not going to take your emotions away, but it's going to absolutely take the trade, whether or not you're ready, whether or not you had a fight with your significant other, whether or not you're exhausted. It's going to do what it's going to do regardless of all that. Okay. So in this case, we are one of the only companies that I'm aware of, I misspoke. We're the only company that I'm aware of that use fixed risk instead of martingale. And our bots are designed specifically for funded account programs so that you can go to cash at the end of the day. We actually have a setting is what time do you want to exit all? Just go to cash, no matter what. If you're in a winning trade, losing trade, just let's go to cash. And so we have technology that automates all of that for you. Okay. So I'm going to pause real quick to see if you guys have any questions. And are the parameters for each strategy provided? Yes. So great question, Philip. When we're looking at all of our predefined settings, all of our predefined settings. In this case, we're looking at, I think it was 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, in this case it was 6. All of the settings are predefined for you. They're literally what time to start, what chart to run, all that. And so essentially you basically can go in here and let's do it again on, you'll see here, this is the 004 strategy. So I'm going to just literally go in here. We're going to go to new strategy. We're going to go to mega orb. I'm going to go down to load this template and we're going to go to 004 right here. Boom, 004 load. And here are the settings. What you'll notice, we were just talking about this right here before, is the risk. How much risk am I going to lose if I'm wrong? Okay. Now, the cool part is our profit taker is a multiple or a factor of our risk. What does that mean? When we lose, we're going to lose, in this case, $100. When we win, we're going to win 2.1 times our $100 or $210, right? And so it's literally going to set up our entry and our exit. It's going to set up, once we're in the trade, it's going to set up our stop loss and our take profit all at the same time. So even if you lose power, disconnect, that order is open and at the broker still, right? Yeah. So all that is set up and it does all this stuff automatically. So the question, how many times do you have to do the learning before you pass? How hard is it to pass on the first time? So it's not hard. It just takes a little bit of time, Selena. Great question. Um, it so like if you listen to what we say, it's fairly easy. If you go off and do your own thing, so like someone are like, I want to pass quickly. So instead of $100 risk, we're going to take $1,000 risk. it's probably gonna take a long time because you're trying to kind of shortcut the system, right? We have some tried and true process here we're trying to share with you guys. If you just 10x your risk because you're impatient, it's probably gonna take you a long time because you're gonna blow up the account, have to start over, blow up, start over. If you just follow our guidance, it's fairly easy to do. And we have quite a few people that we're actually lining up our interviews with now, starting next week, with people who've got an account funded just with these predefined settings. So you don't have to know everything there is about this automated technology. You just have to know, how do I go live? How do I make some decisions? And then, like, how do I push out, how do I set up how do I take advantage of these predefined settings? Yeah. So there is training to pass. So the training really is how to use our technology. Um, we have some predefined or some pre-recorded videos, and it takes a couple hours to go through and kind of get started. Obviously, there's quite a few modules to go through, and they're kind of incremental, right? So you start with how to install this software to begin with, how to set up an account, how to connect the two together, and it's just kind of a sequential process there. So, yep. So the training is not on how to pass; it's how to use the technology. We do have some accounts, some we'll call it special groups. Once you've funded an account, once you've passed an evaluation, we invite you to another group inside our community. We have some tips and tricks on, hey, let's be smart about having these funded accounts, and let's not try to, make $1 million overnight by doing crazy, silly, wonky things, which you'd be surprised how often that happens. So we have some guidance for you there. But yeah, that's a great question. Yep. Yep. What other questions you guys have? Are you guys excited about this as much as I am? As much as Tracy is? Okay. So I'll go ahead and wrap up real quick. And I'm going to show you guys like the number one question we get is, hey, like, why are you even doing this? Why don't you just do this on your own and just live life happily ever after? Well, we do make money. We do have our own accounts. We do we do have our own brokerage accounts as well. But we're a small team and we're really after about impact. And we do have limited impact as a small team, right? And so what we're really after is just the bigger impact in helping change lives. That's it. Pretty simple. Our technology does have an upfront fee, and it is $150 a month to use the technology. If you think of it like a technology lease, there's a down payment and then a small monthly fee, right? And we do give back regularly to our community and serve on nonprofit boards. And our bot program does include a lot of things, right? So you're getting access to all the video modules, all the training, all the stuff you can watch, and how to download, how to install it, how to use the pre-configured bots, how to like use this new technology. It does have all that included, and it does include our 8 trading bots. Now, what I want to share with you guys is we actually, three of them were built in 2025. Actually, they were built in Q1 of 2025. Did we raise prices after we gave almost doubled our bot population, right, from 5 to 8? We did not raise prices at all. We have not. We have not raised prices at all. Okay. After that, we also, beyond that, we actually have multiple, like twice a week, we have live classes. If you're stuck, if you're saying, hey, my Windows computers give me problems, like, we actually have live classes for you to join twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, where you can jump in if you're stuck. You actually also, it's not on my slide deck, but you also get a $25 onboarding credit after you join, once you sign up and kind of book a call with one of our coaches. It'll be myself or my team. One of our coaches can help you with like getting set up if you're stuck. We'll give you $25 off your second month, basically. That's what we're doing. We're trying to pay you to show up and get help, right? And then, of course, we do have access to this online community of like-minded bot traders. I haven't shown you this, but we do have an account dashboard trade copier. That's basically how you run your bots in a single account, and it will actually copy all of the trades into up to 20, right? So there's basically a leader and a follower count. run out of time. Otherwise, I will show you guys that. But essentially, what we're able to do is we're able to provide all of this, as well as I'll show you the trade copier itself. This is from one of our competitors. They have a trade copier, and it's literally $795. We do not charge extra for this. We built it for free. Well, we built it and we're giving it away to our community at no extra cost, right? So not only do you get the bots, you get the training, you get the videos, you get the live access, and now you get the bot portfolio tools, including we're almost up to 300 predefined settings for our about 300 predefined settings for the different bots. Okay. Any questions about that? Does this make sense? So the only thing I'll show you is we do have, if you were to add up all of this information, if you were to add up the bots, the training, the classes, the live access, the um, all this stuff, the trade copier, all of this, if you add it all up, it adds up to over $6,000, right? But if you go to our website right now, it's $1,800 down and 150 a month. But if you hang out, I'll give you a coupon to cut this price down significantly, down to $799, $799 down and $150 a month. Now, what we just demonstrated was one bot showing you 148,000 over the course of almost 4 years. And you guys can do the math on how much this is able, the potential that this has, 148K times 20, right? Even if you start, actually, even if you start with one account, do you guys think $150 a month to make this kind of money is reasonable? I think it's like a no-brainer. It's absolutely a no-brainer. And I will tell you that people ask us, "Hey, when are we having a discount? When are we having Black Friday discount?" This is our Black Friday sale. We're providing it to you early, okay? We have added significant amount of technology, significant amount of new features and functionality. However, we don't ever usually I don't think I've ever remember anytime we've lowered our price. We're adding and adding, and our price slowly will increase over time. So if you're waiting for it to go lower, to be lower, not going to happen. Literally, 3 or 4 months ago, this was $599. Okay, so we've now added a significant amount of new technology on top of that we just released, and so we feel now's the time to kind of raise our price again. First time in a long time that we've been able to do that. Again, it is $799 down and $150 a month. So the question is, do I keep it all after I end my membership? So yeah, great question. So the $150 a month actually allows us to continue building the new technology. So if you were to cancel the monthlies they had on do it anymore, that's fine, no problem. The technology will stop working, which is fine because you said you don't want to use it anymore, right? Again, this is a technology lease. Our competitors charge anywhere from, I believe it's 6K up to I've seen 25K up front, right? This is called a PIF, pay in full. We do not do that. We're trying to offer a very reasonable monthly fee, very reasonable, like a car lease. You guys probably understand car leases. Something reasonable that you're able to get into. You don't have to come out of pocket. We're not asking you to pay us 10 grand up front, but it does require a down payment and then kind of a monthly fee, right? And there's no contracts. Cancel anytime you want. If it's not for you, no big deal. Easy peasy. Just let us know and we can cancel you. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what I have for you. If you're interested, we'll go ahead and throw the link to join as well as the coupon code for like how to get this actual $799 deal. If you go to our website directly at pushbuttentrading.co, you will not see this deal. We only do this via webinar. So you're here. Awesome. How much can you expect to make a month? I may have missed it. So it depends on what you pick, right? We can't guarantee, we can't legally make guarantees because you are taking some risks. But it all depends on which ones you pick. Obviously, we hope that you're going to more than triple, quadruple your monthly payments, right? But we can't guarantee that, of course, because you're taking some risks, right? So, but how much can you expect to make? Obviously, it depends on if you're running one account, if you're running 20 accounts. Each account at Apex, when you're using the 80% off coupon, starts around $33 a month, right? So $33 a month for one account. Obviously, if you have 20, you can say times 20. So there's a fee that doesn't go to us, that goes to Apex. This is our fee. This is what we charge for the technology. So you have to take our technology and a funded account program and kind of connect the two of them. All of our videos show how that's done, but that's essentially how that works. Yep. And yep, there we go. So we just put the link and the discount code. The discount code is not going to last forever. Someone tried to use this discount code the other day, and we told them it expired a few weeks ago, and that's why it expires. We're not able to resurrect any deals. This stuff's all automated. So let us know if you're interested. Again, there's the link here in our chat, and we will share the video if you guys want to go back and watch this again. But I think this is a killer deal. Compared to every other program that's out there who offers, I'm not going to name names, but there are some who offer literally anywhere from 7,000 all the way up to $25,000. So you pay that up front, right? In this case, we have a small fee, and then an ongoing small monthly fee to help pay all the technology costs. So that's what I have. I will hang out for a few minutes if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, let me know. Yep. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, and grab that link if you're interested. Yep. Yes, we will share the replay. Yep, not a problem. We'll email that out. Might be a couple of hour or two, but yeah, absolutely. What other questions do you have? Baba, Jamie, Kevin, Philip, Selena, Svetlana, Tracy, Max. What questions do you have? Let us know. I have two traders in the same household, want to share it. How does that work? So we license it to a single email address. Otherwise, you're kind of like using it, it's kind of like you can't pay for one car and get two cars if you're right. So it's licensed to a single email address. So it would have to be tied to one email address. Yeah. Yep. Good question. What other questions you guys have? Otherwise, that's a wrap. Yep. Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll get the recording out. Thanks. Bye.